We are now on Daf Lamed Amud Aleph, right there where it says Emat Matzli, 3 lines from the top. So we just learned that a person should say Tfilat HaDerech, and we learned the correct way, the correct nusach, right? Originally we said Shetolicheini l'shalom, v'tatzideini l'shalom. It was all about me, and then Abaye pointed out and said, no, we should never separate ourselves from the tzibur, from Am Yisrael, from the klal. Therefore, it should be Shetolicheinu, v'tatzideinu, right? So it's all about us. Now that we talked about this concept of making sure that you, one, say Tfilat HaDerech, before you go on the way, and also then we talked about, 2, the correct text of Tfilat HaDerech. Now we're going to talk about Emat Matzli. When do we say it? Amar Rabbi Yaakov, Amar Rav Chisda. Rabbi Yaakov says the name Rav Chisda. Misha'a shemehalech baderech. From the time that you go on the way. So the Gemara asks, Ad kama, right? So if you look over at Rashi, right? Rashi says over here, Ad kama zmana litpalel. How much time do you have to pray? So Amar Rabbi Yaakov, Amar Rav Chisda, Ad parsa. You have until a parsa. And if you take a look at the chart that I'm showing you, you see over here, a parsa is the equivalent of 2.68 miles. Right? That is what a parsa is. So, going back to the Gemara, we see, so when do you pray? You could pray until a parsa. And Rashi says, meaning to say you have up to a parsa to pray. So you have up to 2.68 miles to pray. But if you remembered after you have traveled 2.69 miles, too late, you can no longer say Tfilat HaDerech. Kind of like after you eat bread, you have 72 minutes to say Berkat HaMazon, 73 minutes, too late. Vehechi matzli la. So the Gemara asks, okay, so now we know what you should say and when you should say it. But the question is, how should we say it? What position? Hechi, how should he pray it? Meaning, what position should he be in? Rav Chisda Amar me'umad, standing. Rav Sheshet Amar afilu mahalech. You could even do it walking. Rav Chisda Rav Sheshet havu ka'az li ba'orcha. Rav Chisda and Rav Sheshet were going on the way. Kam Rav Chisda stood for kamatzli and said Tfilat HaDerech, and he prayed Tfilat HaDerech. So Amar le Rav Sheshet l'sham'eh. So Rav Sheshet said to his servant, Mai ka'avi Rav Chisda. What's Rav Chisda doing? Right, and of course we know that the reason Rav Sheshet couldn't just take a look and see what Rav Chisda was doing is because he was blind. So he knew that the caravan that they're traveling with stopped. So therefore he asked, what's going on? So Amar le, so his servant said to him, Kai umatzli, he's standing and praying Tfilat HaDerech. So Amar le, so Rav Sheshet said, Ukman nami lididi, stand me up also, va'atzli, and I will pray. And he quotes a saying in the Gemara, Miyotov al tikrara, when you could be good, don't be called bad. Right? And Rashi says, what does this mean? Mihiyotov al tikrara. So Rashi says, Ho'il, since v'ani yachol litpalel mu'umad, since I'm able to pray standing, Shahare chavurati omedet, right? Since my chabura, the people that I'm traveling with, are anyways stopped and standing, lo ekarara, I shouldn't be called bad, lit palel mahalech, to pray, traveling. Afal pi shemutar, even though I'm allowed to. Meaning to say, Rav Sheshet says, when do I say Tfilat HaDerech traveling? That's only if I'm already on the way and I'm going But here we stopped. If we already stopped to say it, so I might as well, why should I do something different than everyone else? So the Gemara goes back to the discussion that we had on Chavtet Amud Aleph about Tfilah Kitzara and Me'en Shmona Esrei, right? And don't forget, Havinenu and Me'en Shmona Esrei are really the same thing. We only call Me'en Shmona Esrei Havinenu because that's the first words of the Tefillah. So what's the difference between Havinenu and Tfilah Kitzara? Between Havinenu and Tfilah Kitzara. Havinenu by Letzluye Gimel Kamaita v'Gimel Batraita. Havinenu, you need to pray the 3 first and the 3 last, meaning the first 3 and the first 3 and the last 3 berachot. And when he gets to his house, lo bayi mahader litzluye. He does not need to go back and to pray Amidah again. But Tfilah Kitzara, however, when it comes to talking about Tfilah Kitzara, lo bayi litzluye. He does not need to pray lo gimel kamaita, not the first 3, for lo gimel batraita, and not the last 3 berachot Amidah. And when he arrives at his house, he needs to go back and pray. And the halacha is Havinenu me'umad. Havinenu must be said standing, meaning Me'en Shmona Esrei must be said standing. Tfilah Kitzara bein me'umad bein mahalach, and Tfilah Kitzara can be said whether you're standing or walking. Hayarochev al chamor. The Mishnah said. So the Mishnah says, Hayarochev al chamor. A person was traveling on his donkey, and the time for tefillah arrived. Yered. Mishnah amra shu tzarich laredet v'litpalel amidah. Ve'imeno yachol lered. Let's say he can't get off his donkey for whatever reason it is. Right, and he still needs to pray. Right, he needs to lachzer et panav. He needs to turn his face. Right, and as we'll see soon, it depends where he is. If he's in Israel, wherever it is, he needs to pray in the appropriate direction. And if he can't turn his head in the appropriate direction, then he needs to just have in his heart as if he's standing towards the Kodesh HaKodashim. Okay. Tanu Rabbanan. The rabbis learned, here it happens to be a Tosefta, Suma Umishe, Tanu Rabbanan. Hayarochev al chamor. A person was riding on a donkey, V'giazman Tfilah. And the time for Tfilah arrived. If he has somebody to hold on to his donkey, he should get off and pray. If he has no one to hold his donkey, he should remain where he is and pray. Rebbe Omer, benkach, whether he has somebody to hold or whether he doesn't have someone to hold, yeshev bimkomo v'yitpalel. He should remain sitting on the donkey and pray. That's because as long as someone's holding your donkey, where is this guy not going to hold it properly? Is my donkey going to run away? And the whole purpose of the guy getting off the donkey, not getting off the donkey, the whole discussion was, should you have kavanah? So if you're not going to have if you're going to have less kavanah by standing, Rabbi, right, which is also another name for Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, says, so just sit in the saddle and pray. Amarava, V'yitpalel. Why should you pray in your place? Lefi she'ein da'ato miyushevet alav. Because his da'at, his concentration is not miyushevet. Miyushevet ba milashon lashevet. It's settled. It's not right. So if someone else is holding on to your donkey, your da'at is not settled. So you can't focus. Amar Rava v'itema Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. So Rava and some say Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi say halacha is kerebi. The halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, that you stay in the saddle and you pray.